What's up, good people? As I was editing this video, I noticed that the video quality was bad. It was very choppy. I want to apologize. I don't have the best. I don't have the best computer. I don't have the best software. It's a very cheap computer. I get there one day, But right now, um, I want y'all to think of it as a podcast video. You know what I'm saying? Just think of it as if you listening to a podcast, because I did 40 minutes of this thing and I did not want to go back and redo it. I talked about some very interesting things. I want y'all to let me know in the comments if you find anything of it interesting. What do you think about some of the things that I say about the recruiting and about maybe the game this past Saturday? But I want to really apologize for that. Hopefully soon I'll be getting some better things that won't be so choppy and so bad to look at. Sorry again. Enjoy your podcast. What it is, what it was, and what it will be. This your boy GJ16, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about the Razorbacks and some things SEC. Today, I am excited. We got the Anthony Brown decision. The polls came out yesterday. What a weekend. What a game. What a coaching staff. Man, what a team. It's what a. Let's talk about it. 50 up and 50 down. I'll be wearing everything. 20 on and 20 round. 24's on everything. Alright, man. So many things to talk about. So little times. I want to talk about the game, my likes, my 2 likes and my 2 dislikes about the game. I want to talk about the commitment of Anthony Brown. I want to talk about the poll that RJ came out with. RJ Young came out with today. I want to talk about a 5-star commitment that we get, that Mike Neighbors got on the ladybacks. For the ladybacks, we're stacking up at the University of Arkansas, bro. The women's is stacking up. The men's is stacking up. Man, I'm waiting. What is his name? I'm waiting on. I'm hoping. Must get that player. Man, I cannot think of his name at the moment, bruh. Smith Jr. I think that's it. He's a 5-star, man. It's so many. What a game for the recruits, bro. That's coming in. Man, if there is a time to be excited about the Razorback football, no, not just football, about the Razorback athletic department, period, it's now. Having the coaches in place, having a culture in place. Telling you, bro, everybody want to look at football, and our football is coming, man. I'm gonna get to it. The commitment 3-star, which I think he should be a 4-star with all that he can do, and whoo, man, it's just so much. I'm overwhelmed, man. We not overwhelmed, but just overjoyed about it, man. It's been. I know a lot of people like, hey, it's just Texas, but whatever, bro. Whatever, I want to keep a level head about it though, because you know what? Let's just go down the road, okay? Today we got a 3-star commitment in Anthony Brown, right? I believe this cat should have been a 4-star commitment. After looking at you look at all the offers that this cat got, the speed that he's run. He's an athlete though, but he's coming to Arkansas to play a DB. Man, I'm hoping that really he talented enough to see the field his first year, from what I've seen. And I'm gonna show you the film right now. Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. Those film shows the interception, the hits, man, the hard hits, bro. Being in the right position that he's supposed to be in. That's what you get in him. I'm hoping that they bring him in. I mean, we have another safety coming in that's really good, but I'm hoping that he comes in Jalen Catalon, just take him right up under his wings and just say, hey, learn from me. Learn from me. This cat should have been rated a 4-star player. I don't know what 24/7 is doing. I don't know what Rival them doing. How they pick you. I'm gonna give you his offer list, and you tell me whether he's a 3-star or a 4-star. I'm looking at a 4-star player, but whatever. This is his, and I'm only gonna give off his Power 5 offer list. And if you know recruiting, you ain't coming to Alabama if you don't know how to play. And I just gave one away right there. So we're gonna go through his offers. Of course, Arkansas, but you got Indiana, you got Alabama, you got Auburn, Boston College, Duke, Georgia Tech, Illinois. You have Miami, the U. You got Michigan State, Mississippi State, Oregon, Purdue, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt, Utah, Virginia, Wisconsin, Syracuse, Washington. Bro, and this is just the Power 5. Man, this man, how many is it 32? How many? It's like 32 teams, bro. Bruh, and then look at this. Mr. Deion Sanders himself, bro, at Jackson State offered him. Mr. Deion Sanders now. Mr. HBCU, who's going to run that thing in a couple, if not next year, but in a couple years, he going to be unstoppable, bro. They wanted this cat, Mr. Anthony Brown. Mr. Anthony he fast though, bro. He fast, quick, sharp, smart in the backfield. He also played receiver a little bit. You seen him line up at, I want to say, the running back position here and there. If you watch some of his highlights, I only showed his highlights on the defensive side of the ball because that's what he's coming here to Arkansas to do. This is the one that I was saying earlier. If you watch a few videos before August started, I want to say in July, when I was talking about the recruits, this is the recruit I've mentioned in there that's coming. Is one of those game-changing type of back ends. to compete in this league. Like, he's one that's gonna all these big. I know he ain't as big as you think as you might want somebody in that position to be. He's 6 feet, 185 pounds, but he can keep up with those receivers. You ain't leaving him in the dust. You think about the type of wide receivers that we have in the SEC. Ones not just the ones that's big and can go, but we have you have to go against these fast receivers that's breaking open all the time. You see it on the film. You see at Alabama is they receivers. It just seems so easy, so effortlessly. They guys is just, it seems like they're just open all the time. It's because they get separation and they fast. And a lot of teams don't have the DBs to handle that. Sam Pittman and Barry Odom, like, we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them in that can handle that kind of thing, especially in the safety position. Cornerback position. That's why I'm so happy. I'm so proud of our secondary now. Yes, one of the things that frustrated me a little bit about the Texas game, I'm gonna get to that, but I'm happy with what we get, and then we're getting faster. That's just plainly what it is. We're getting better. We're getting faster, and then again, having the ability to compete. So I am all for this. Y'all can mark him as a 3-star if y'all want to. He's a 4-star in my book, and you let me know what you think. I think he's a 4-star, but that's just me. So before I get into the RJ Young thing, and before I get to my 2 likes and my 2 dislikes, I want to show this video how I feel about this last weekend game. Yes, I had us beating Texas when I did my win losses. The crowd was electric, bro. I wasn't there, but it was crazy because you could feel it coming through the screen. It was nice to see. I want to say, last time I was this excited about Razorbacks' future was Petrino, when they had Adams and Childs, and granted, their group, and I think it was Now Davis was the running back. Man, that group of players energized the culture, and I think we was ranked number 3 at one point. It's like, whoo, baby, this is a feeling that we haven't felt in so long. And yes, it's against Texas. I want to tell y'all something, right? A lot of people is bashing Texas today for losing to us, right? Because we still don't have, in the eyes of the public, outside of Arkansas, we still don't have that stigma yet. I mean, heck, we just beat Texas. We just beat a top 25 team and forever, right? So we haven't even gotten into the SEC play yet, right? So a lot of people, it's understandable to be doubtful about the Razorbacks. It's understandable to be to not jump on board yet for so many people. But this Texas team, mark my word, this Texas team, they're gonna do way better than you think this year. I mean, I'm looking at, I went back and watched that game twice. Yes, We manhandled them up front. I mean, again, we were at home. We were at Ledger. We did have home field advantage. Yeah, I want to say we didn't have SEC refs refereeing this game. It was Big 12 refs, so we didn't have the SEC ref in this game. Yes, there was some stuff that could have been called targeting in this game, whatever. But a lot of things are changing, and I can't put it in better words than late kick Josh can. The guy hit it the nail on the head, and I'm gonna play that portion of the video of how things are going, why Sam Pittman is doing it the right way, and bringing that stigma back to Arkansas when we had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis, and they were just running the ball. I mean, you look at the running backs that we got now, the freshmen. But oh my goodness, bro, man, we are in good hands. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip of Josh saying what in better words than I can. Here we go.
So what's going on at Arkansas? They're not parked in the top 10 on National Signing Day. They're not pumping guys into the first round right now. So what's going on at Arkansas? Well, here's what you need to know, and this is where it extends well beyond Fayetteville. One of the best lessons in college football is being taught at Arkansas right now. And Sam Pittman, the head coach there, for those unfamiliar, will not brag on himself. He will only deflect praise to his roster. The only time he's talking about himself is when he's shouldering blame. But I'm going to brag for him because this is a guy that has figured it out. Arkansas is a university that has figured it out. Culture, everyone preaches it. So few places get it right. The key to culture is it's built in layers. Game by game, quarter by quarter, but year by year, but you add it in layers. It doesn't all come at once. But what has to happen, you can go about it different ways. It has to be built around a core of authenticity. And a lot of times, it doesn't matter which kind of layers you add, you don't have a core of authenticity. Because a lot of folks just aren't authentic. A lot of folks are frauds. You can be a good football coach and be a total fraud as a person. We've seen it before. Sam Pittman is the inverse of that. But what happens is you get a guy in there that can greaseboard you to death, and he can chalk talk you to death, but he's not authentic, and he's not relatable, and he doesn't blend in with the culture there. And so you're trying to oil and water your way to success, and it doesn't work. Sam Pittman is Arkansas. It's not Velcro. They're like cemented. There is not one and the other. They are one. You have a core built around a guy and a culture that is as purely authentic as any place in college football. That's why it's working. That's why all the layers are sticking. And so now another layer got added yesterday. This big win over Texas. This meant the world to Arkansas. Some of you are too young to understand. I'm too young to have lived it, but I know history, at least of this sport, I know history. There was a time where what happened last year to Arkansas in the Auburn game, and by that I mean having a game ripped from their clutches that they had earned, that used to happen against Texas. In the Southwest Conference, that used to happen. Texas folks know it. Some of them would even brag about it. This meant everything to Arkansas. And I'm telling you, what it was an early warning sign, to Texas. A lot of this stuff's overblown, but it was an early warning sign that when you come over here, when you finally do make the jump, you could win over here, but this is what it's like pretty much every week. Arkansas, most people would call them a middle-of-the-pack SEC program. Well, it was a knife fight for Texas last night, and they came out on the wrong end. They finished second place in the knife fight last night. But also what it was is, whether you believe in this or not, a lot of people do believe in it. So at the very least, if it's a mirage, we can erase the mirage of home cooking, of things being tilted in Texas' favor. Again, modern day, I think a lot of that's overblown. But back in the SWC days, that was not overblown. And so Arkansas folks, they had a lot of frustration. I don't even think 4 quarters was enough, but they would have beaten that piñata last night well into the early hours of the morning, long after the candy had been strewn all over the place. But man, Arkansas has got the cultural fit figured out. And Sam Pittman, like I told you last week, is a guy that not only will his players and staff go to the cliff, they'll go over the cliff for him. And I'll tell you what it reminded me of last night. When you watch Arkansas right now, You don't see them in the top 10 on National Signing Day yet. They're not pumping guys into the first round of the draft, but yet they're beating teams you don't think they're supposed to beat. And it reminds me of what can happen when you get culture right. And guys will go over a cliff for you, and they'll just all stick their face in the fan, and they don't care about the consequences. That's how much they're bought in. That's how authentic the culture is, and that's how much culture matters. It's not quantifiable. It's not something you can draw on a stat sheet, but it matters. Think Michigan State with Mark D'Antonio when they were at their best, how hard it was for Urban Meyer and Ohio State against those guys. Think Auburn at various points, as long as Nick Saban's been at Bama.
I can't put it no better, There's layers to this thing, man. I can't put it no better. And I love the post-game press conference Sam did. He talked about, we beat him. Everybody love him right now, and we are loving us some Sam Pittman. The pit boss, is a lot of people are putting it. We are loving us some Sam Pittman. But what if we lose to A&M, right? What if we lose to Georgia? And I got us losing those 2 games anyway. Not because, I picked us to lose at the beginning. I'm going to stick with how I feel about it. I know Texas A&M just lost a starting QB for this game for a few months. I know we ain't going to be going against their starting QB. We're going to be going against the backup. I know. I'd be thrilled to win that game and going to that Georgia game 4-0. I would be. If we beat them going to Georgia game 4-0, you're looking at a top 10 matchup. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But we love our pit boss, whatever. But he's doing it the right way because he's like, we're going to lose some games this year. We are. We are. Right? We beat Texas. But slow down just a little bit. I am happy. I'm thrilled that we ranked. I didn't even want us to be ranked this week, to be honest. I didn't want us to be ranked. I wanted us to go into the Texas A&M game and take their ranking from them. That's what I wanted. I wanted to go in that Texas A&M game, even though I had us losing. I wanted the Razorbacks to prove me wrong that they was going to win that game. I wanted us to go in there and take it from them. But we're ranked, and I'm happy about it. I'm thrilled. It's been a long time since we've been ranked, but it's stages to this thing. And if you hopper back, and I ain't saying that we're Alabama, but we could possibly one day get there, and Sam might just be the guy to do it, right? So it's stages to it. Nick Saban got it together. Alabama in stages, right? Pittman is getting it back in stages. You think back to last year where we finally got the SEC win. Heck, this year I feel this year is the year that the stigma of the Chad Moore era is gonna be gone, done with. Don't bring it back up. I'm tired of hearing about him. Like, we're done with him, right? We're done with that era. We're done with what he did to this team, right? We're forgive and go on, right? So we done with that. But in this stage, nobody has some people are very hyped on Arkansas right now. They're because we beat Texas. And good, right? But some people are saying Texas mediocre. They the same old team. Let me tell you something. Texas is going to run through the Big 12. Only problem Texas is going to have is Oklahoma. And I'm hoping Texas beat Oklahoma. That's the only problem Texas is going to have. They just installed this new Thompson, the other quarterback, to start from here on out. I think he's the best player for that position on that team right now. I agree with RJ Young on that. I think that everything people are saying about Texas is a little flip. Yes, Steve Sarkisian, forget if that even how you say his name, but yes, he's a new head coach. He got the players. I actually absolutely like the players, the roles, and I think this Texas team is way better than people give it credit. And the only reason why they don't give it that much credit is because they don't want to give Arkansas the credit for beating them like we did. We have some horses to go against third tier teams like that and win. Now for a second tier like Georgia, and I'm this year Georgia might be a first tier team, but we might not be so good going against those. But I think we have the talent, we have the horses to get it done. That's why I got us winning 8 games this year. And I'm just gonna leave it like that on that one. I just feel like people need to stop disrespecting Texas. I don't like them that much. I'm glad we beat them down, but I'm glad they need to show some kind of respect to them. I think they better than a lot of people are giving them credit, because Arkansas is way better than a lot of people is giving us credit to be. Period. With that being said, let me give you my 2 likes and my 2 dislikes about the game Saturday. All right, my like ones, and I'm gonna. This is just like last week. The same thing for week 2. My first like is KJ. What can I say? The guy controlled the game. Much improved. Much. How can I? How many ways can I say it? Muchkins, many. It don't even matter, right? He improved greatly from last week to this week. I'm telling you, I don't know what he was doing last week compared to this week. It was like, and I'm harping on the first half, but he controlled the game. Yes, he didn't run for no touchdown. He didn't throw no touchdown. But the man managed this game, bro, brilliantly, right? Didn't get phased when throwing an interception. Like, he came out there, called his plays, did his check downs, put the running backs and wide receivers in the right position, made sure he checked with Kendall Brown on whatever it is. I said Kendall Brown. Yeah, it is. That's Kendall. Made his confirmation with Kendall Brown. I mean, the guy, I liked it, man. I just like the way KJ controlled the game. And much better pose, much better, just much better this week, man. Just much better. I have nothing else to say about the fact that even though he didn't score, he led the team. He led the team, man. You gotta give him props on that. He led the team. That's it. All right, for my first dislike. My first dislike is still going to. I know I just heap praised on the man. Now I'm giving him another dislike, just like the same as last week. And there's a reason why I'm giving him a dislike. It's not too many dislikes I dislike about this game. The game planning and the players, the positionings, where they was at, how they played. It was on fire, bro. It just was. It's not too many dislikes. I have to say that I had a hard time finding a lot of dislikes in this game, but I found some. So I can find some for you, okay? And my first dislike is to KJ. Again, KJ, he did great. but I would like to see him put some touches on it. You know what I'm saying? Put some touches on that pass, Float it just a little bit higher. Just a tad bit. Just a tad bit, bro. It's like, I think I wrote it down. Okay. I wrote down that he needed to put some touch on the ball. And the reason why I wrote down that he needs to put touch on the ball is because he would have had more passing yards if he did. You think about he missed Burks on 2 passes if he would have just put a little touch on there. Where the DB knocked the ball down, one in the first quarter, where we ended up kicking a field goal on that drive, and then one in the second quarter we ended up kicking another field goal on that drive. He missed Burks on that touch pass in the back of the end zone. If he would have just put a little touch, just a tad bit more touch on that ball, they would have been a TD instead of 3 points in the second half in the second quarter to Burks in the back right corner, man. It's just, and that touch to Burks down there for, I want to say, maybe 20 yards. He would have had 20 more yards. And then Burks would have probably ran for a few more if a little touch would have been on there. And I think that's the difference from last year with Felipe Franks. Was Felipe knew how much touch to put on the ball to get it over the linebackers, to get it over the DB. And KJ, he just got to learn it, man. And I think about that interception that he threw there in the third quarter. I can't remember who the receiver that was behind that safety, but if he had a little bit more touch, because the problem with KJ, he can throw the ball deep. It's just that his short balls is really flat. He just needed a little more touch on it, man. And he wouldn't. That dude made an incredible play, right? With the interception, pop one-handed, and then caught that jump. That was nice. That was good for them, good for his stats. But if KJ had a little bit more touch on there, that jump was gonna go for 80 yards, guarantee you, because there was no one else behind him. If it would have went for either 80 or a tutty. 80 or a tutty. If you go back and watch that, it would have went for 80 yard or a tutty if he would have put a little bit more touch on that, depending on how fast the receiver is to their DBs. So I'm counting 2 scores that he could have had in this game. And we really would have routed him. Anyway, so that's my first dislike. My second like, and I talked about this earlier. My second like is that I really am impressed with the freshman running backs. I think, to be honest with you, I would probably put Green as the running back number 2, Sanders as number 3, only because I feel like when watching Sanders run, he'd probably be there next year. Green looked like he is there this year. I was looking at this game, and now we saw a lot of Sanders more than we did Green, but I don't know. I don't know if Green I don't think he played last game, did he? I don't think he played last game, but I think Green get him some more touches. Man, that dude looks good, man. Sanders, he looks great as well, but I feel like I would probably put Green number 2. But this whole running back position, these 2 freshmen, and number 20, I forget his name, but he's a sophomore. Our running back our running back position is solid. It's gonna be good for years to come if they keep recruiting like this. It's gonna be good to years to come, bro. I'm telling you that the stamp we had as DB is RBU, running back university. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back, bro. It's a line of running backs, man. Green, man. I see they're seeing him run, bro. Seeing how he's built. In a couple of years, I'm going to tell you, okay, disclaimer, Alabama fans, don't get mad, right? Arkansas fans, look at it through my eyes. Through my eyes. Look at Green film and look at Najee Harris film. Green, when he get to that point, I think he got Najee Harris capability. I think Green has Najee Harris capability, and I'm excited about him from years to come. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, Alabama fans could get mad like, hey, he ain't on that kind of level, but whatever, bro. From the little taste that I've seen, from the practice videos that I've seen, the guy he reminds me a little of Najee Harris. So, whatever. Just look at it. Go take Najee Harris films and Greens, put them together, whatever. Alright. My dislikes. My second dislikes, bro. I know it's been, I said so little time, but it's so much things that I want to discuss. This week is full. I'm trying to get equipment in. But my second dislike, it was hard for me to find it, but I just went on and just did it. I want our players to get better when it comes to tackling. Because I mentioned the Big 12 not tackling as tackling. They need to get better in how they form the form of tackling, but this targeting thing, bro. How many times during the game have you heard them say something about, whoa, they look like targeting? How many times? We had Big 12 referees, and fortunately they didn't call the one that was on Henry, because first of all, I don't think the one that was on Henry was actually targeting, because the running back, Texas running back, the dude got almost shin level with his helmet. Like, how are you supposed to tackle that? How was you supposed to tackle that? Because if you going down like this and he's going down like this, your helmet is going to click his helmet. I don't understand how that is targeting. But I guarantee you, because once we get into SEC play and get in front of these doggone SEC referees, I said I don't want to complain about them, but the fact is they're going to call it. And then we're going to be out of the linebacker. Our linebacker's going to get hit. I feel like Jaden Callahan going to get hit with another one. Henry should have got hit. They would have called it on Henry. I guarantee you. I ain't going to say he should have, but I guarantee they're going to call it on him, because the running back got doggone shin level low. It's no box. It's no box right there. It's hard to hit a tackle box that goes all the way down to this. right? Your thumb can barely fit in there, bro. Your thumb can barely fit in that box. How you supposed to tackle somebody? Jeez. But anyway, the one at the goal line, now that one could have been prevented. The second time the quarterback ran across the goal line and dude popped him, that was targeting. There was. He jumped at him with his helmet. He was already going towards the ground because people already was on him tackling. He just jumped on there at the last second. Could have been prevented. He fortunate that he didn't get hit with one. That was not neither. That wasn't a starter. That was a backup though. But he would have been gone for the beginning of the next game. But let me tell you, when we get in SEC play, they're going to look at that, and none of that's going to fly. As crazy as it is, none of that's going to fly. None of that's going to go Arkansas way. None of it. I'm just letting you know. None of it going to go Arkansas way. That's why I feel like it's either going to be a game against Ole Miss or LSU that we're going to lose because of something like that. But those are my dislikes. Those are my likes. Moving on to the next. All right, so the reason why I wanted to pump the brakes just a tad bit on putting Arkansas on a pedestal for beating Texas this past weekend is because if you look at, I want to talk about the RJ Young poll that he came out with. Matter of fact, let me look that up for you. I'm going to look it up. This RJ Young poll that came out, bro. We won. People ain't gonna expect it, but we're coming. You know, whether you want us to or not, yes, we probably still jokes to y'all. We gotta prove it. And this the year to prove it. This is the year to prove it and no looking back. This is the year of the establishment, and this is what it is. But this poll, I think, I like it, but I wouldn't put us that high yet. RJ did a tier poll, and I'm gonna put it up in a second once I find it, bro. Let me find it real quick. Here you go. So this is RJ Young's Week 3 college football tiers. On tier 1, he got Alabama absolutely by itself. I understand why, but I would probably put Georgia up there with Alabama. I think Georgia's a tier 1 program. I think Georgia got the athletes, the stars, the 4 or 5 stars. They got the skills. I think Georgia is a tier 1 too, but it's hard to argue against Bama being up there by itself until proven otherwise. Anyway, so tier 2, he got Georgia, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Iowa. In tier 3, he got Penn State, Arkansas, and A&M. When I seen it, I was like, yo, why? Like, we did great. I would like to see us. I won't say we're tier 3 yet. Not yet. Not until we beat that that Texas A&M, that A&M right beside us. Like, I would like to beat A&M first before you tier us, especially then going into that Georgia game, and we'll see. We definitely will see where we at with Georgia. Like, that defense, their line will show us where we at with our line and our defense. Last year, The first half was a close game. Can we be close with Georgia all 4 quarters? But I don't want to look too far ahead. I know we got Georgia Southern coming up, but this A&M game, if we can get past them, and I mean we'll prove it in the A&M game on the line of scrimmage. But I want to beat A&M before we even be put in any kind of tiers, any kind of rankings. That's what I want. But that's just me. And in Tier 4, he got Clemson, Notre Dame, UCLA, and Ohio State. Now, I'm not putting I wouldn't put the Hawkeyes over Ohio State. I wouldn't put Clemson. I wouldn't put the Hawkeyes over Clemson. I wouldn't put us over Clemson or Ohio State. I would probably switch this though. I would probably switch Tier 3 with Tier 4. That's what I would do. Like if I were to redo this tier, I would put Tier 3 at number 4, number 4 at number 3. I would switch the Hawkeyes with either Clemson or Ohio State. Ohio State, the Ducks got them, bro. In that game, it wasn't even. I'm talking about Ohio State and Big Ten, but I mean, you look at it like some of those. Like it would have been a 4-score game because they wouldn't have scored on the Ducks if the Ducks wasn't looking at their play call on their risk, and that's the defensive coordinator fault. Getting the play in that late, they wouldn't have scored on that drive. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Clemson lost to Georgia. I don't see nobody. Especially, I don't think North Carolina's going to beat them. I think Clemson's going to go through their ACC schedule. I think Ohio State going to go through the Big Ten again. But that's how I would have it. I think Oregon proved that they belong in tier number 2. I think I would change the Hawkeyes. I would actually put the Hawkeyes in tier 3. So I'll put tier number 3. I would switch tier number 3 and number 4. Arkansas, Penn State, A&M will be in tier number 4. I would switch Hawkeyes with maybe Clemson or Ohio State. I would probably leave it like that. I would leave the Razorbacks in there because they my Razorbacks. I don't care what y'all people say that ain't part of this conference or part of this team that ends up coming on to this video. That's just how I feel about it. And that's just what it will be. Peace.